Welcome to the Finance with FM. Today, we're diving into an XRP analysis that shows a huge coiled up move might be just around the corner. We're talking about a potential target of 7, and the clues apparently are hiding in plain sight. That was the exact reaction from the analyst who put this all together. And look, it wasn't because of some crazy pie in the sky prediction. It was because a classic, powerful chart pattern suddenly became crystal clear, a pattern that suggests the long, frustrating wait for a big move could finally be coming to an end. So what exactly is this pattern? What's the signal that could cut through all this noise and market confusion? Well, that's what we're here to do. Let's break down the entire game plan from the trigger that sets it all off all the way to the final target. Now, let's just be honest for a second. If you've been watching the crypto market, especially XRP, it probably feels like we're just completely stuck in the mud, right? It's been choppy, it's been directionless, and frankly, it feels like it's designed to wear you out. But here's the thing. This environment, it's a feature, not a bug. All these dips that test support and shake out the nervous investors, this constant battle around that 3.14 psychological level. This is classic consolidation. The old saying goes that the market's job is to bore you, to shake out the weak hands right before the real move happens. So all this frustrating chop could actually be building the foundation for what's coming next. So while a lot of people are getting frustrated by the sideways grind, the H chart itself might be giving us a really clear roadmap. There's a classic technical pattern forming that could signal the end of all this boredom. All right. So the pattern at the heart of this whole analysis is a textbook falling wedge. Now, if you're not familiar with it, don't worry. It's pretty simple. Just think of it as the market taking a much needed breath after move up the price starts to drift down, but it does so in a tightening range like a cone. This suggests the sellers are running out of steam and the buyers are getting ready to step back in and take control. A falling wedge basically acts like a coiled spring. You can just see it on the chart. The price gets squeezed tighter and tighter and tighter. It's building up all this kinetic energy. And if the pattern holds true, what happens when you release all that pressure from a coiled spring? You get a powerful explosive release, a big breakout to the upside. And look, this isn't just some textbook theory. This exact kind of setup has apparently shown up on the XRP chart before, and it led to some pretty strong rallies. Now, of course, past performance is never a guarantee of future results. But when you see history rhyming like this, it definitely adds some weight to the argument. Okay, so if this pattern is so bullish, what's the catch? What's holding it back? Well, to unlock all that potential, there is one major obstacle that has to be cleared first. You can think of it like the final boss fight of this level, and that final boss is the $3.34 mark. This is not a random number. This is a heavy wall of resistance. It's the exact price where sellers have consistently shown up in force and slammed the door shut on any attempted rally. So I really can't overstate this. This level is everything right now. It is the gatekeeper. If the price fails to break through, we probably just get more of this boring, frustrating sideways chop, but a decisive move above it. That could change the entire story for XRP. So how do we know we've actually beaten the boss? What's the real confirmation? Well, it's not enough to just poke your head above the line for a minute. The analysis is very specific. It calls for a decisive high volume 4-hour camp at the closing, firmly above $3.34. That is the unambiguous signal that the bulls have finally won this fight. All right, so let's play this forward. Let's say the breakout happens. Let's say that fifth fin boss is defeated. What's the prize on the other side? Where does this path actually lead? Here it is, the entire game plan laid out. The trigger, as we said, is that solid 4-hour close above $3.34. The target, which is based on a technical calculation, is sitting up there around. But just as important, maybe even more important, is the safety net. If the price instead rolls over and closes below 48, the whole bullish idea is off the table. A good plan always includes an exit. So you might be asking, where does $4 come from? Is that just a number pulled out of thin air? Nope. It comes from something called a measured move. Basically, you take the height of the wedge pattern at its widest point, and then you add that distance to the breakout level. It's a standard technical projection, and that's exactly what points us to that $4 target. Okay. But let's be real for a second. No trade setup is a sure thing, and no analysis is complete if you don't look at the other side of the coins. So yeah, we have to talk about the risks, and a huge wild card that's lurking in the background. When you look under the hood, the dashboard lights are kind of mixed. On the plus side, you've got momentum indicators like the MACD that are getting really close to a bullish crossover, and the RSI has plenty of room to run higher. But on the other hand, some key trend indicators like the super trend and the parabolic star are still negative. This mix just reinforces that this is a potential setup, not a guarantee. The bulls definitely still have some work to do. And then you've got the wild card, the big one, the ongoing Ripple SET case. There's a key date coming up around August 15th for a potential update, and you can feel the market anticipation building. Any piece of significant positive news from that front could be like pouring gasoline on a fire. It could add a massive fundamental spark to this already coiled technical setup. So let's just boil this all down one more time. You've got a powerful pattern, the falling wedge. You've got a crystal clear trigger to watch for that 4-hour close above $3.34. You've got a specific prize, the $4 target, and most importantly, you have a safety net, that invalidation level at $2.80 bound that tells you when the idea is wrong. That is the complete anatomy of a high conviction trade setup, and that really brings us to our final thought. If this technical pattern does play out, if we get the breakout and XRP hits that $4 target, the big question then becomes, is that the final destination? Or is that just the beginning of the next major leg up? Yeah, that's a question only the market can answer.